Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Friday, November 15th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. In bodybuilding, people love to say that numbers don't matter because it's not all about the scale or all about the illusion or some other corny cliche. But in life, sometimes the numbers do matter. I'm pretty sure most people would be pissed if their paycheck was short and their boss told them, it didn't matter because it was all about an illusion of having money. So when Big Ramy shows up to a guest posing at 326 pounds of fury, I'm going to go ahead and say that the numbers do matter a little bit here. Ramy has never been this big or looked this good at this weight. The numbers say that he's having the best offseason of his career, and the eye test backs it up. So if he shows up at 300 pounds and destroys at the Arnold Classic, I'm pretty sure the numbers will matter then too, because at that point, he might be in an uncharted territory. Your parents always teach you not to be superficial and judge a book by its cover. But in bodybuilding, that's literally the only thing we do. We only judge books by their cover, and that's how we assign some artificial level of worthiness or work ethic to something or someone. But I guess luckily for him, Steve Kuclo's pretty good about keeping up his appearances. A few days ago, someone spotted the King Snake getting in a high-quality sweat session, where he seemed to be getting along pretty well through his first phase of his off-season program. All things considered, Steve had a really solid year that included a handful of clutch performances, because when he gets everything clicking at the same time, he's one of the most dangerous men in the business. Usually the saying, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, has a negative connotation. But when you're in the process of trying to whip up a fresh batch of something extra special, the way 212 standout Nicolas Vullioud is, cracking a few eggs is the least of your worries. Nick decided to sit out the entire 2019 campaign to focus on making the kind of improvements that will elevate his career to the next level. And so far, it's looking like the right decision. Nick almost has one of those Jose Raymondish impossibly too thick to ever make the 212 situations going on right now, which is code for he's having a ridiculous improvement season. So as long as he didn't give up any of his aesthetics or lines to chase the size, 2020 could end up being an interesting season for him. In sports, and sometimes in life too, we have a tendency to get so wrapped up in the winners that we can overlook some really talented athletes based on the fact that they don't have any wins next to their name. And in a roundabout way, it feels like there's some of that going on right now with Michael Toscano. Last weekend, Toscano made his pro debut at the Legion Sports Fest, where he placed second behind David Henry. Think about that for a second. He took a second place in a show that was loaded with Olympia-level talent, and the only guy who beat him is an all-time great. Toscano is an interesting prospect to say the least, so I wouldn't rule him out as someone who could possibly figure out a way to steal a win now and by the end of the season. Stay tuned. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.